Hello, hello. We lost track of the time. Hello. Nice,
And
nice welcome back. What a wonderful way to come back. How is everyone? How are you, Miss Elsie?
I'm
Oh, wait,
doing
we should probably
well.
start the show.
Should we? Okay, right off the bat, let's do the thing.
I mean, unless you want to wait a minute. Are you ready? Are you already
Not
ready?
really.
Well,
We're
then go
doing it.
finish. Then get ready. It's okay.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. I'm ready. If I'm ready, you're ready.
Yes.
Don't you say ready, go?
Oh, okay, so let's record. Wait, hold on. I see I forgot all about this. So, oops, did I leave?
It took us,
Wait,
yeah, you did.
I
It's taken
disappeared.
us an hour to figure out how we used to record not even a month ago. It's really sad.
Also, what happened to my camera?
Where did you go? Where are you?
I don't know.
Elsie, I don't want to do a show like this.
I
Come
I
on.
literally was just on camera and then dude, how
Where
what is happening?
where are you?
Okay.
Where are
Am I
you?
back? I'm back. Okay. I was like
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
literally was like what? Okay.
Ridic.
Rid ick. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So we do have to record. I was in the middle of opening up my recording app and I think I disappeared myself somehow.
You did. But remember
And
I told
thus,
you that always happens to me.
what,
I just did
disappearing
that.
yourself? You
Yeah, like
disappear
I
yourself
opened
all the
it and
time?
I opened audition and it made me I think it made my camera turn off. No, it put me on mute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Hello, hello,
Let's
hello.
do this. 5, 5, 3. Okay, so
What?
let's start with 3. Sorry, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Press record.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Elsie.
All right.
All right, we are off and running.
Here we are.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for returning to She Podcasts, the podcast. I am your co host, Jessica Kupferman. Welcome to episode 405. With me, as always, the today very giggly Elsie Escobar. And
Oh my God.
hi, say hi.
Hello, hello. Oh my God, we sound like we literally have never done this in our lives.
It feels
Not
like
to
it.
say we are on episode 405.
We're
So,
on
like,
405. Can't find my earbuds. Don't know why Elsie's face is disappearing. Take extra time to find the mic and the settings. We literally did this like a month ago. Like it hasn't even been a month, has it? Maybe a month and a
yes,
half.
I think it has been. Yeah, but
Hi,
still though, it's
Cheryl.
that it doesn't really matter. Hello, Cheryl. It doesn't really matter because we have been doing this since 2014. Just you and I since 2014. That's like it's almost a decade.
Oh, Cheryl has corrected me. 2 months it's been.
Oh, it's been 2 months. Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So,
I apologize.
hello. All I'm saying is, oh my God, how it's yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's continue on.
She's
Given
speechless,
that
ladies
though,
and gentlemen.
I know I'm
What?
just no, but given the fact that we have been gone, we've been gone for 2 months. Hence, where have we been?
Where have we been? Well, who wants to go first? You or me?
Who wants to go? Well, hey, listen, I say you go because I'm following your lead.
Oh, is that
The
true?
last
So
week, yeah, the
rare.
last week we could have started last week, but it was my May's birthday on September 4th.
Mhm.
And therefore I was like, we're spending time together. So
Yeah,
that
let's
was
just back
my
this in.
mistake.
Let's back ourselves in. Okay, so last week we didn't do it because of May. The week before we didn't do it because I was actually at your house. No,
No, you were having
no,
surgery.
I had surgery on my elbow.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to see? God damn, look at that scar.
Oh, ooh, wow.
And look at all the bruising.
Why do you? Oh yeah, because of the thing. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at
Oh,
that.
I know
Okay.
this is really gross, isn't it? Oh, it's like I'm like Frankenstein. There's no like stitches or anything. But yeah, I had tennis elbow surgery. Funny story, thought it was carpal tunnel surgery till the day before, and everyone was like, "Why are you having it done on your elbow?" And I was like, "I don't know. That's just where they want to do it." No, it's because it was tennis elbow surgery, not carpal tunnel surgery.
Uh,
The week before that, I was at your house.
yes.
No,
Yes. Yes.
yes. No,
Yes.
I had surgery on the 28th. No, you're right. Okay, I'm right. Yeah. The week before that, I was at your house. The week before that, I don't even remember. But we did the event and then we did a couple and then, I think I was at the beach one week and I think you were somewhere and I don't know. When we're busy with family stuff, strong family months like July, August, December, we try not to, we don't push ourselves to record. We don't push each other to record, which I think is nice. Um,
Well, I think
I
that
guess
there's
if our
also another element that a lot of people don't really talk about. And I think that this is something that we would not have been able to do if we had
advertisers,
advertising or
yeah,
sponsorship on our show. So if you have advertising or sponsorship or have a community, like a Patreon type of community that is based on your ability to create content, then you don't have this option.
right.
I'm just
Or
letting you know.
well, you do actually. I mean, you just have to tell people in advance when you're not free
Yes,
for
this is true.
ads.
You
You
would
can't
have
just
to
go away.
pre-plan. Yeah, you would have to pre-plan and say, you will get content from us 10 months out of the
Right.
year or 8 months out of the year or whatever. And
That's
so
right.
anyway,
That's right. So yeah, so
great.
we've been doing stuff. I had a good summer, but man, all the stuff I said I was going to do in June, like fix my house up and stuff, like I didn't do any of that. I did not do one
Okay.
bit of that. I did a lot of sleeping. Like like July was like, I don't know. I just slept so much that I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I had mono. That's how much I slept. And then I was suspicious that there was a carbon monoxide leak in my house that was causing me to be so tired all the time because that's what Jewish mothers do. They instantly think the worst. So it's like I'm not tired, something is slowly killing me, like I have a stroke or something. So that wasn't the case. I guess I was just fucking tired and now I feel better.
Yeah, and
So
also though, but I think it's very bizarre that you just said you were sleeping so much and now you're saying I can't sleep.
it is. That's true. I told Elsie this morning. I mean, I have the worst dark circles. You see, I have makeup on them because it literally looks like I've been punched in the face. Like the last couple nights, I haven't slept, and it's because I've tried to go to bed early. If I was just like, no, we're just going to go to bed at like 12:31, it was fine. But as soon as I'm like, I have to go to bed like an hour and a half earlier, I'm panicked about whether or not I'll be able to do it. Then I toss and turn all night. It's a horrible cycle. But hopefully it's just an adjustment and I'll get used to it. Because the other part is like school is an hour earlier than camp. So I have to get up earlier as well. It makes a huge difference that 1 hour. And then God forbid that, if school and daylight savings came at the same time, like I would need a coffin to sleep in. Like I would just like become a vampire. And it would be the worst. Thank God I get a break from that before
Before it all begins. Before it all
before it all
starts.
begins, before the DST. Anyway, what about you? You just came back from Podcast Movement.
I did. I mean, I just came back as in like almost a month ago, it's been
No.
almost 3 weeks. It
Has it?
literally has been almost 3 weeks. Yes. It's
the fuck
because I keep
outta
looking
here.
back and I go, oh my God, time is going by so fast. Cause like even right now, if I look at
2
that,
weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. You're right.
can't be like I'm telling you, it's going by really fast.
Yeah.
'Cause,
It
yeah,
did
I
go
was
really
there. It's
fast.
like 1 week, and then so right now it's gonna be that this is starting the 3rd week. So
I
feels
remember
like
what
it's
I was
been
doing
forever.
before and after I visited you. Isaac had the chicken pox,
That's right. That's right.
even though he's vaccinated.
Yes, that's right.
He had
It
a
is
he had
this.
a pretty disgusting case, I must say,
I'm
of the
sorry.
chicken pox. Yeah, because Emily had it too, and she had been vaccinated, and it was like 4 things that we were just like, they don't look like bug bites, but this was like a rash from like armpit to hip on one side. It was ridiculous. Anyway, I won't talk about that more because it was
Yeah.
revolting. But yeah, it's been a weird summer, but good. I'm happy to be back, and I'm excited to be recording with you today because we have all kinds of things that happened this summer,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot
we
of
may as well
stuff.
just jump right on into it. What are we
Let's
waiting
do
for? I don't know.
let's do it. I know.
Oh,
I
wait, first,
know.
I just have to say, your T-shirt. Did you wear that for me? I love the mother.
Uh,
You know that,
I
right?
love this t-shirt. It's my favorite. I got this in LA when I lived in
So
LA. So
amazing.
that will tell you how old this t-shirt is.
It's
So
animal though. I love
almost
it.
it's literally almost 17 years old. This t-shirt.
Oh my god.
I love this, my
Great.
little t-shirt. I love it so
Yeah,
much. I
I love
remember where I
animals.
bought it. I bought it at Urban Outfitters on Melrose. Like I still have the memory. I was like, animal.
Yes. Muppets
So,
Run. Okay.
so yes, way back in the day. Anyway,
Okay.
so what shall we start chatting about first? I mean, other than the fact that, yeah, go ahead. You lead the beginning, and then I will follow up with
Well,
the
the
actual content.
first thing on our show notes today is Clubhouse. Let's just close the door on this chapter, shall we?
Okay.
Clubhouse has reinvented itself as an audio messaging app. The app that popularized social audio rooms is reinventing itself to be more like a messaging app with a new voice-only group chats called Chats. Very
Yeah.
creative. As detailed in a blog post from the company. Think of a chat as something like a group Instagram story you contribute to with your voice. Thank you for pointing that out. You kick off a chat by recording a voice message, then you can send that chat around to your friends. It's so novel. They can then hop in and add their own voice. That is what a chat is. Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
That Voxer, as I said to Elsie before, this is just Voxer. All that is Voxer. And it's not even as good as Voxer because it's Clubhouse.
Because it's Clubhouse. Well, listen, I think that this has a different, obviously it's got a different vibe because it already has a lot of users in it. So let me be devil's advocate in the way that I think like, okay, it could work, is that Clubhouse does have a lot of users already. There's a lot of people on the platform itself.
Well, it did.
Or
sure.
no, but I mean, people who have signed up for the platform are still signed up. So people have used the app, right? Voxer probably doesn't have as many people using that app. And it's been more of a, I would say, slightly leaning more towards business people. Like there's a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs, companies that use Voxer for that internal communications.
True.
This feels to me that it's trying to kind of straddle not only like live ish the same Clubhouse vibe that it had before, but it's like also moving into the WhatsApp, kind of space, because WhatsApp has WhatsApp plus Instagram, because they're trying to do that.
Broadcasts,
So I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Where is Bonnie when you need her?
I know. Why do you think that it was so popular and then like what made it decline, you think?
Hello, the pandemic.
Really?
Dude, it was so popular because of the pandemic.
Oh.
Remember? It came out right
we were bored.
When the pandemic, it's like nobody knew what to do with themselves at home. Let's all go online and talk to each other because we have nothing to do.
That's right. I remember now. Well,
so yeah,
in our Clubhouse. Nice.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's what it was. Right. And I think that and at this, it was so exciting and fun. And the connectivity, the real life scenarios, the accessibility, all of that was great. But then when people started to use it more and more and more and more and more, the marketers, I think, absolutely ruined it. All the crypto bros totally ruined it. And then the UI was not the best.
It was not. It was like very hard to participate in a conversation or raise your. I mean, I didn't have good experiences guesting in clubhouses. So
Yeah,
I'm using it.
me neither. So I
Yeah.
think that that's what it was, and then the kicker, the thing that really put the nail on a coffin, is the fact that it was separate from what everybody else was using. So when Twitter started Twitter Spaces, that was really the killer for that, because everybody was on Twitter at that
Yeah.
time, and that was the easiest thing ever. Now Twitter killed itself, and hence that's like then it would have been.
Just jumped
Now
right
it's
off a bridge in front of all of America and the
and
whole
we were
world.
just like,
"Woo!"
no, and we are now, yes, it is gone for no
Was
longer
that
as
your
it was.
impression of Mr. Bill? Oh
Oh no. Okay. So yes, that's what it was with Clubhouse. So for those of you who are going to possibly use it and or are continuing or have actually used it throughout all its iterations, I'd be very curious if you send in some feedback to us to tell us like, hey, this is actually really cool. You guys should try it out or whatever. But I don't think I'm gonna go that route. No. So anyway.
Yeah. No more.
So
Okay.
next story. Shall we do iOS 17?
Yes. So this is
Okay.
my favorite stuff when we talk about Mac stuff. If you're a PC person or if you don't have, well, I guess not. If it doesn't matter if you're a PC person, if you don't have an iPhone, you might want to skip to the next part of this
Yes,
podcast
and
because
just a
we're going over.
really quick disclaimer before we go into this. At the
Mhm.
time of this recording, we are recording the day before the Apple event. So we are going to be talking about the updates to the software on iOS. So iOS 17, we're not going to talk about any of the new hardware releases because we don't know what they are, other than the fact that I'm sure there's going to be an iPhone 15. So yay, but we don't have any of the specs or anything else that was on the event because that's not right now. But we are going to talk about iOS 17 stuff, which I think is really cool. So yeah.
Away we go.
Away we go. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
there's a
So
lot of stuff here.
there is a lot of stuff. It was iOS 17 was announced at WWDC, making it Apple's biggest annual software update for iPhone users. It packs new features for messages, FaceTime, and widgets. Starting with as of June, it was available to beta testers only, but I think now everyone has it, right?
Yeah, at the time of you listening to this, you are going to have the ability to download it as far as we know.
Yes.
So there are some really fun things that you can find in iOS 17. One of them being like there's this contact posters.
Yes.
So you can now have the person's
Hilarious.
gigantic face when they're calling you. It's going to pop up in the front of the screen. And you can make them look really nice
or
so,
completely ridiculous.
Or completely ridiculous. This is also a thing. So you're able to do that. And that pops up for FaceTime audio and video calls. So Ooh, great. And you can change like the typography and font colors to every single person. And you can also have now for FaceTime, Apple has added a variety of new reactions. So I guess when you're on FaceTime, you can now react with like little hearts and balloons and fireworks and laser beams and rain.
Mm-hmm.
And rain.
I know what is that because you're feeling sad or I mean, like, why would I want to send you good morning and then rain? It seems counterproductive. I mean, I guess it could indicate sadness, loneliness.
Well, the thing is, that's like when you're on a FaceTime call. And it's not even a message. It's on FaceTime.
No, they're just reactions.
No. Also for FaceTime, Apple has added a variety of new reactions for FaceTime.
Oh, I thought it was for texting.
No.
Why do you
hearts,
need that?
balloons, fireworks, laser means. I guess when I'm talking to you and you say something that I like, I can like pretend like we're on Instagram or something, and like we're not actually talking to each other. I could just
So
pretend
now,
like, you know.
so now verbal conversation needs to be peppered with literal visual emojis.
Yes.
Because looking at you while I'm talking and seeing your face laugh isn't enough.
No.
Now I have to have a little winky face laughing at me in
Yes.
the corner to solidify how funny it actually was.
Correct. If
'Cause your
I don't
laugh
want to
does not
actually
fit.
laugh, I could be like this. I could be like this the whole time while you're talking to me. And then I'm giving you happy faces the whole time, like I'm pretending, like I'm like, oh, she's funny. Ha ha.
So
Ha
this
ha.
means that like when our children are older and they have to call each other, like let's just say I have to call my sister, God forbid, to tell her that one of our parents died.
Yeah.
I'll be talking to her and I'll be like, Dad, I don't think he's gonna make it. Then rain have to come across the thing. Because we can't just have a normal short interaction. Now it's going to be synonymous with communication.
Yes.
That's not
okay.
Pathetic is what it is. It's pathetic.
It's not okay. Yes. So anyway, that's that. Let's move on. The music app has been revamped with support for collaborative playlists.
Yeah.
And crossfade at long last. I don't know what that is. Crossfade
is sort of like what DJs do. The song doesn't actually end. It fades out and then another fades in instead of it stopping and then starting.
Got it.
So the last 30 seconds or the last 5 seconds and the first 5 seconds melt.
Got it. All right. So here's this. Cool. How about this? Another tentpole change in iOS 17 is a major revamp of autocorrect, which Apple says will finally let you say what you ducking want to say.
I mean, after 15 years, finally they agree that we're adults that can use the F word. Delightful.
Yes, I know. And that's like, hey, listen, I'm all cool with that. Another thing that's happening is there's a standby mode for the phone now. So you can have it like,
really cool.
Yeah. So you could put it up, I guess, on the side and it looks like a clock. And it's kind of neat.
Special chargers. Yeah. You do it like this. You take your phone and you put it sideways and there's like a stand for it. And then it will show you, the calendar. It's just exactly like those little the flipperty-doos that had a calendar and the time. It's basically just incorporating something that we all used to have on our desk 20 years ago, which was a calendar and a clock.
Yeah.
We get it back.
Now you can get it back. Yeah. So this is really interesting too. There's like a bunch of accessibility stuff. And one of the things that they have now is something called personal voice. And it gives users at risk of speech loss, such as those with ALS, the ability to create a voice that sounds like theirs. And
amazing.
And like live speech is a new feature that offers non-speaking users the option to type and have their words spoken in person in phone calls or in FaceTime calls. I think that's amazing. So can you imagine? That's so cool. Anyway, yes, go ahead.
Instantly, I have a need to make my voice so that I can just type on a phone call and the other person can hear what I'm saying and I don't have to participate.
And you don't have to actually talk. Okay. I mean,
right? Like if I'm in bed or something and someone wants to, or like, if everyone's sleeping around me or if no one's awake yet, I can just wear my headphones and type what I want to say.
True.
And no one will have to hear me talking.
No one will have to. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be, I'm sure, other ways to use this functionality without actually being somebody who actually needs to use it because of their bodies. Right. So I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of interesting ways people use it. Now, the messages, because we use messages all the time, is getting a major boost with features like, stickers, reactions, and more. So this is where we're going to be talking about the thing that you wanted it. So now the interface for iMessages app has been overhauled. So I guess there's easier access to things like camera photos and location sharing, gifts, and more. Okay, fine. Audio messages are now transcribed
finally
automatically for you, Jessica. This was just for you.
It was. But I mean, you know what? It's funny. Like I have a group of businesswomen that I talk to on Marco Polo, which is like video
Yeah.
messaging and
Yeah.
no transcription. It's infuriating.
Because you have to like sit there and like,
I have to watch it. I have to actually watch a video. It's torture. Don't make us do this. All right. Yeah. I love that the audio
So this
messages.
is good.
Although, wait a minute.
What?
Oh, the voicemails are transcribed, not the audio.
No,
Never.
no,
Yeah.
audio messages are now transcribed,
I-
and I believe so are voice messages. I think it's both.
Voice messages already are. If I
Okay,
touch the
so-
voice message without hitting play, I can see the whole message.
Okay, great. And then yeah, this one says audio messages are. Now stickers have been revamped. Apple turning all emoji into stickers and allowing you to create your own stickers using your own photos,
Yay.
which, you know, yay.
Because
Okay,
already
great.
did now. Yeah,
What I would have, but here's the thing though. Stickers can be used in messages, which we all know. But here's the fun part. They can also be tap backs and much more. So
it's
if-
tap back is
tap-
when you do a heart, right?
the heart or the thumbs up or like all that stuff. So that's great. I hope that it's easy. I hope it's easy to do. I hope that it's not a pain in the behind. But that's kind of fun because there's been many times when I wanted to like let's say something that you like, I wish there was a sad face. Like if you share something that's like not very nice or something that I'm like, or something that's annoying, I want like an angry face or I want a sad face. I'm so like, I'm sorry, like tap back versus like a thumbs down. Cause thumbs down's like, some thumbs down doesn't feel like it's the right tap back.
Yeah.
Do you feel me on that? Do
Yeah.
you feel me?
I just said, well, Cheryl said she doesn't do FaceTime. Can you have multiple people on the same call? You can do calls and shit. It is kind of like Zoom, but it's not because you can be anywhere.
In terms of the messages, this made me really happy, and I hope and I'm gonna test the crap out of this thing.
Yeah. Same.
Now the Messages app includes upgraded search functionality with support for search filters. Which, how many times have you been looking for a message that you knew you got? You don't know exactly when it is.
Every time. Every time I need someone's address, every time I need a link to something that one of us has sent each other, every single time I can't find what I want. And I know it's in there. I know because I never delete anything.
I know it's neither. And it's where I look for stuff. It's like my memory thing. I wish there was a way to like pin it or to like highlight and go like star certain messages so that you can reference back to them really quickly. Anyway, this one in the bottom, I'm not sure what it's the last one of these. It says it's easier to reply to a specific message by swiping right on it instead of long pressing. So I don't know how.
Kind of like an email.
Okay.
You'll just swipe
instead
right
of long pressing. Okay, whatever. That
a new journal app.
I know the new journal. That's
what are you
mind you though.
do?
That's not supposed to be released though until later. So it's part of iOS 17, the release, but it's going to come out like closer towards the end of the year versus now, like in September. So, but it is supposed to, I've been using Day One since forever. So I don't know if I'm going to be switching to this, but there's like a lot of really interesting things that it can now do. So here's how I want to do the journaling thing, Jess. And this, this is where the power of the digital journal really is just the complexity and the ecosystem that it'll give you is amazing. So you'll open it up. And then let's say you want to remember your day really quickly. You're going to be able to have all the information that your phone already has about that. So let's say you went to the grocery store, you went to a coffee shop, and then you dropped off Isaac at his friend's house. And you texted me about, I don't know, whatever you're doing. And so then you're able to kind of pull all of those bits together and kind of triangulate a story without you even actually having to write anything. Cause you can have a picture, you can have a location, dropping a location in there. You can drop like a screenshot or maybe the message itself that you sent me. And so you can like just compile all that stuff. And then when you open it, you're going to go, oh yeah, I remember that day. And then there's the weather, of course, there's the location data of all of the places. So you're kind of able to get an idea of where you were and what you were doing and who you were talking to all in one place. So
I mean, the
Amazing.
health app is getting some new fun stuff like mental health, logging your daily mood. As far as the rest of this, proving where you were, what you were listening to, this is for everyone who's in a remotely, like a crossing the line between might not be toxic and toxic relationship. That shit's about to go next level because every time you argue with somebody, you can be like, look,
Oh
this
my
is
God,
where
I'd
I was.
never even thought about
This is
that.
where I was. Don't tell me that I don't do what I say I'm going to do because I did exactly what I said I was going to do. You can't tell me
Wow.
what I do and what I don't do. Because look, now my phone says everything about me, including what song I was listening to, what workout I was doing, where I ate.
Wow, that's
Why
like a
would we-
lot.
Why would we need to remember that otherwise, unless we are so consumed with ourselves?
No, dude, I love Day One. It's the best
Day
app
one is
ever for
journal.
that.
A
It
journal. It's
does
not
that.
recording your every move. It's different. You put in
Yes,
what's
it
in there.
does. And Day One, that's what it does. It like shows
It
me
does?
like you can actually look on the side and it's got a running thing. It gives me locations, it gives me pictures of the ones I've taken. Whenever like I import a picture in there, it automatically asks me and it says, "Do you want me to add the time and location to the post?" Like it asks you to, it tells you what the weather is. But what I'm telling you is that
guess.
the podcast, the internal iOS journaling app has access to a lot more information that Day One does not, like because it's not internal. So Day One has really created a phenomenal journaling app. It's my favorite. It's been amazing for so many people. But now that with Apple doing that, they're kind of copying Day One, like is straight up. But they have accessibility to all of the internals of the iPhone itself, things that Day One doesn't have access to, so like phone calls and texts.
In theory, this is great. I'm just thinking about, I've lost one person, before the age of the iPhone and then two people after. And because it was my daughter, I had her phone. And I think going
Yeah.
through her day in that kind of journal would be, I mean, because it's not the dramatic stuff that like my favorite video is of her sitting on my bed, just scrolling through her phone, not doing anything.
Right.
Sometimes I play it because
Right.
just to have her there, not saying anything, this
Yeah.
is like a lifetime of that. Ate
Yeah.
peas, grabbed some potatoes,
Yeah.
went to work out, got in my car, yelled at a friend, bought a watch. Like it's all the mundane shit that makes you sad, I think, later. I mean, I'm not trying to bum everyone out. It's supposed to be a happy fucking conversation, but I live with people who save everything physical that they ever touch. Like they're very much interested in logging their lives through diplomas and letters and certificates and whatever else they've ever been given, greeting cards and shit. And like I know sounds like I'm not being very sentimental, but this is even worse. This is so much worse. Digital information about what you've done. I mean, I guess if you do commit crimes, this is a good way to have an alibi on that note. Not that I'm planning on that, but otherwise, that's going to be tough to go through when someone passes away. I mean, that's the first thing I think of is what will the living have to deal with when this person dies? Besides Twitter,
first of all, because there's like there's a different thing though, because there's like one of the things is like what you're talking about. First of all, you don't even know if they're going to be given access. So technically, they might lose all that information and they may never get access to that. Possibly. You have to like have you have to actually set all that stuff up and blah, blah, blah. But one of the reasons that I am such a lover of journaling and all of the keeping of all the bits is because I actually do want, when I'm not around, my kids to grab my journals and open them up and see all the shit that I put in there because it's so tangible. And it's not like today my journals are not like, I have my thoughtful journals, the ones that I like say shit, like those are not going to be accessible to them. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm happy burning them after I'm done with them because there's no reason for me to keep them. They serve a purpose for that. But the ones that I am doing there are for historic. It's for history. It's for proof of life. It's like it's a
Yeah,
way.
it's a
Yeah, and
legacy. It's a
it's a
legacy to do.
legacy, and they can go away, they can be destroyed, but I have like wrappers from, and I know this is lame, but I have wrappers from chocolate. I
I
have
used
like
to do that stuff too when I was younger.
receipts. I have like all the, and then so every time I open it up, I go, oh my God. And it makes me happy whether or not, I don't think it's gonna, because it's not
No, it's for
heartbreaking.
you.
Yeah.
That's fine that it's for you. I just, like I said, that's the first thing I go to is what's going to happen when that stuff doesn't belong to you anymore. I guess it's just it's a weird thing to think about. Wills, I have a book that's like, it's not writing a will, but it like asks you the questions. In other words, like you don't have to have a lawyer do it. You just go, what do you want to happen to this stuff? This goes to this,
Oh,
whatever.
right.
And it has a whole section for digital. Like you have to leave your digital
that's great.
possessions to someone with
You
a user and
do. Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
actually had to think about what I would leave Scott versus what I would give to you to handle.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's weird. I haven't written it all out yet because
It's
I'm
a lot, dude. It's a lot.
But
yeah,
it's a
I
lot.
like how
It made
you
me think
totally
about it. It was crazy.
went to a
Yeah.
completely different place, and I was like, okay, so this is the last little bit on iOS 17.2 that I kind of want to talk. Actually, two things. One of them that's pretty easy. The Reminders app now automatically groups items. So instead, you know how there's like all the grocery lists app that people are doing? Now
Yes. I
Reminders
hate the
actually does that for you if you want to.
God.
So if you have a list, a grocery list that you label grocery, it automatically is going to group the items based on categories that are already built in and or that you can build in for you so that you can have that stuff. So that's cool. The other thing is
Do you use reminders? So not to interrupt you.
I
you
do. I use reminders
I use
for
alarms.
specifically my grocery list, but I have a workflow that really works for me. I can talk about it another time, but that's the only reason that I use it is for groceries. So this to me is like, it's perfect. It's amazing. Now, but the other thing that I love is that now the Notes app offers inner note linking. So internal linking from things so that you can link from one Apple Note to another. And that's how I use one of the apps that I love and adore, Obsidian. That's what I do with Obsidian is the internal linking from note to note to note. Like you just put two brackets on out when you're talking about something, and then it links it to another note. So there's a relationship between these things that is amazing. So I'm loving the fact that the Notes app has added this internal linking functionality.
Yeah. Patrick says, a better way to organize photos would be great. And I may have missed the ability to do this, but what I really like is to be able to redate them because I don't feel like I can redate them in the iPhone. And there's stuff that comes up just because I screenshot it, but it's actually from like 2004. And I'd love to be able to like put it in the right category. And not have albums and not have, like anything you do on desktop can organize your photos, but on the phone, it's kind of a nightmare finding anything. So it does say it has better. Well, first of all, it's going to be able to recognize cats and dogs as people, which is fun because if you have a pet, you can find all the pictures of the one pet, which is nice. But yeah, lots of new stuff. So I'm pretty excited. And we'll link that for you so you can see.
And by the way, everything we just read is from 9 to 5 Mac. It's a huge entire blog post all about it. So, and we'll put a link in here to maybe we'll discuss the event next time we chat. That would be great. Yeah. Okay. So I have another app update, and I am obsessed. Jessica Kupferman.
Yeah, let's do it.
Obsessed. Okay. Obsessed. So this app that I adore is called Matter. Okay. It's called Matter. Let me give you a really quickie history really fast. I've always been a Google Reader girly girl. I love RSS feeds, period. And so I have been reading like lots of websites through RSS ever since I started to be an online person. And when Google Reader passed away, I continued doing and using Google Reader, like not Google Readers, but readers as a whole. So I am used to consuming and reading content in this way.
Yeah.
Now, Matter came into the scene about 2 years ago, like right around the pandemic, it came along. And what Matter really excels at doing is it actually pulls everything you want to read. So not just websites, but like it has its own, there's a way for you to pull newsletter subscriptions.
Like from emails? Oh my God.
Yeah, newsletter subscriptions though, from emails that you delineate
Mhm.
directly into Matter,
No
or
way.
you can use the Matter email, because there's a special email where you can subscribe to a newsletter with the Matter email and it gets pulled into the app. So these are not newsletters like, Old
Highlight.
Navy or H&M. Like it's not a shopping thing. It's for like Substacks, it's for Medium, it's for the long form newsletters that people are writing that you can't quickly look at, right? That you want to spend time with and you want to learn about. So that you can do that. It also pulls in, as far as I know, before you were able to pull in when Twitter was a thing, even Twitter threads and people who were tweeting, you can actually pull that stuff in there as well, which was really, really cool. But now, so anyway, even before this new release, because I'm going to get to the new release, even before this new release, I was all in. In fact, they made an offer to buy, I can't remember how much money it was. It wasn't a lot. It was really not a lot. It was less than $100, but I can't remember what it was, where you could be a patron, a special patron person to the app so that they could continue developing. And you can get like, I don't know, 3 or 5 years of Matter. And you got merch and you got like stickers and things. And I'm like, sign me up. So I bought that a while ago. So I'm a subscribed premium user, Patreon person of Matter because I love the app. But I haven't been reading it too much because I have been obviously there's a lot of things going on in my life and I just haven't been able to kind of like be in it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, they just released the ability to connect your podcasts to Matter and you can read them. So why do I use this? I've talked about Snipped in the past, but now Snipped went premium and I don't want to use Snipped because I don't want to pay for Snipped. I don't use Snipped enough to merit me investing and getting the transcription of some apps, of some of podcast episodes. And the reason that I wanted these podcast episodes in Snipped is because it's information in there that I want to keep. Right? It's not all my podcasts. It's like an episode about whatever. So now when I'm listening in Castro and I listen to an episode that I'm like, oh my God, I have to write all the notes. They're amazing. I need to keep this for whatever. I can just send highlights, like does all the things, a huge transcription of the entire podcast. And it has a little player at the bottom and you just like read along. I'm like,
it's amazing.
What?
It's the dream. It's the dream. That's so cool. I just sent it to Scott. Are you the one that sent me Volv, VOLV?
No.
Well, you should look at that one too, because it's basically, like he stopped reading all news for 2 years, and then I was like, we're gonna run out of shit to talk about if you don't keep up on a little something. So this app Volv allows you to just choose the topics you're interested in. So he chose like entertainment, tech, whatever. And now he's like, it gives you a little bite-sized piece, and then you scroll up, kind of like you're using Tinder, only it's articles. He loves it. And I thought I could have sworn it was you because I know that you're obsessed with curating the information you get and leaving out the information you don't want. So I could have sworn it was you, but you can look it up, VOLV. This is way more advanced than Volv. Volv is just like an easy reader.
And I think it's like the ecosystem and the workflow that I've set up for some of this stuff. Like, so after it's in Matter and I'm like reading the podcast that I'm interested in taking notes from, I just highlight it and then I can send the important highlights over to Obsidian, which is where I have all my notes. And so
Right.
it is just perfect. It's like the right things talking to each other. Like when you're talking to me about Volve, it's like that's outside of my workflow, right? So it's it's like I have to go over there. Whereas this is sort of like, oh, this talks to that now? Are you what? So
Yeah.
I don't have to stop doing what I'm already doing. So anyway, that's my
I would love, have you ever talked about or written about how you use social media without getting sucked into like all the content?
Well, what do you mean? Sucked in as in like
You have to use social for work, but I don't know, you used to have this thing that would like block out the feed and only show you the group stuff, or
oh yeah, I
you have
do.
all
I
these
still
little
have that for
workflows that
Facebook.
keep you from, you have all these little workflows that keep you from being I would like to tell that to my husband who's trying to do the same thing. He needs to be part of the world, but without all the interruption that stresses him out.
Yeah. So
people and
like the
things.
Chrome extension, I think it's called Feed Eradicator. And I think that it's now available in Safari as well. And so whenever I go onto Facebook on the computer, it like blocks the whole feed. Like I can't see everybody's posts. It literally has a quote. And so
Okay.
I need to actively go to where I want to go. So I'll go into a group, or I'll actually, what I do in there is I'll just go check the Libsyn Facebook pages. That's about the extent of my engagement.
Right.
Or if
That's true.
somebody's tagged me on a post, then I'll click on the little notification and I'll go there, but I don't see anything. I don't see it.
Right. It's really smart. All right, thank you. I gave that to him. That'll be helpful.
The thing I don't do is
Yeah.
I don't do TikTok like at all. Like TikTok is not.
I mean, you're just missing out on some fun shit. I don't think it's necessary for life, but it is funny.
I'm not interested in TikTok like at all. I think it's because it doesn't have an off. And I don't.
No, you're the off.
Yeah, like I don't like I want to open TikTok and not have it in my face. Like I want it to just be so I can look at this stuff and make it go versus it like accosting me every time. Sounds.
Every social feed does that. It's not video, but every Instagram, Twitter, they all work the same way. You have to scroll through and get rid of. This is TikTok's the same thing. It's just videos.
No, but it's like you. No, but it's going like
volume off. Try it with the volume off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to try to do something with the volume. I want it to be off. Like never talk until I press play.
Then just turn the volume down on your phone.
No, because I want to live my life. Like that means that every time I go into TikTok, I have to like turn the volume down. That's so dumb because I'm listening to podcast in my ears.
Yeah.
That means I have to turn the volume up.
Noisy.
That's dumb.
It's noisy, but it's some shit is so funny. Some of the stuff is so funny on there. I can't.
Seriously, it's like I'm so not that person. But anyway, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything else that we have to oh yeah, we got to discuss you skipped it.
What did I skip?
E-League.
The E-League is not skipping. It's the last thing.
No, I moved it. Sorry.
Oh, you did move it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you guys, I wanted to just talk about the E-League because I'm bringing it back for this year and I haven't done it since 2020. I think that was the last time I did the E-League was 2020, y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it back because I'm needing it. And why not have other people go through it with me? So the E-League is my mentorship experience. It's kind of set up in a way that you get an opportunity to come in a group and really work on yourself or like think through a lot of thoughts about your work. And I've kind of expanded it more to be less like all about podcasting and more about creators as a whole. Because to your point here, Jess, it's like, how do you not get sucked into all the things? And now we are creating so many things. We are creating lots of videos. We are creating lots of audio stuff. We are creating lots of images. We are creating so many like ways of getting yourself out into the world. And there's a lot. And many people, and including myself, including all of us, including you, are going through massive, massive transitions, like big thinking stuff, like who and what do I want to be now? Do I want to continue doing what I'm doing?
Mhm.
Is there another way to think through what I'm doing in terms of my work? And the key, and there's another big question that I'm going to be asking, which is around what if you just want to let it go? What if that's not
Right.
you anymore? What if it's over? And I just saw a post from an e-leaguer that is letting go of their podcast. And the
Oh,
way
really?
that she posted it was everything to me. It was like, exactly, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what we need to be talking about, because it's amazing. Her show is Fair of the Free Child, or will be ending soonish, from Akila Richards. And she put up this, I'm going to have to put that link in our show notes of her Instagram reel.
Akila?
Of what? Huh?
SEO Akila?
No, did you not hear what I said? Fair of the Free Child.
Oh, sorry.
I
did, but yeah. I thought you meant the author, the host.
So it is from Raising Free People Network. That is her home, if you will.
That's
it. And I just was like, yes, this is what I've been sensing. And it's not that everybody's going to break up with their podcast or everybody's going to stop. It's more about what that transition feels like inside of you after being in it for so long. And I think now, especially as podcasters, this is the very first time that we've gone through a very long period of time, because it started in 2004-ish, right? 2003, 2004-ish. We're getting to 2 decades of a medium. And now the legacies and the evolutions into stepping away from something is there, right? How many TV shows last for longer than a decade? Well, other than Law and Order SVU, right? I mean, seriously, like who does that? Who does 20 years of a TV show? Who does 20 years or 15 years of a one thing all the way through? Right?
Jim Harold from the Ghost Story Campfire.
No. I'm not talking about podcasting. I'm talking about as a whole. Like, we as podcasters have never gotten to this place as a whole where we're now going like, wow, it's been a decade. Am I the first person that started? It's like, what is next for me? Is it time? Am I that same person? Do I want to have this label on myself? And that's one of the bits of work that we do in the E-League, is we really look through what you call yourself, what labels you want to be, like what do you want to live into, and also what you want to let go of, and what you want the world to call you now. Like, what is that? And sometimes we come back. So I've been feeling a sense of wanting to reclaim my yogic persona and my yogic label, when 3 years ago I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want anything to do with this yoga thing. I don't want anything to do with, yogic girl. I don't want that. That was who I was. I'm no longer that person. And now, where I am now, I'm wanting to go back. I'm wanting to go, I want that back in my life. I want to reclaim it. So anyway, that's like, that's what the E-League is all about, y'all. So if you are an E-Leaguer in the past, you'll have a special link, because there's special pricing for you to do 5 weeks with me. It's like an asynchronous asynchronous experience. So there is no time really that you really have to do any of it. You do all the work as well as much as you want to, and there's no like overwhelm into the equation. It's whatever you can do. And for new folks, there's going to be a link and you can apply, because I read everybody's application and I vibe out everybody that I feel will be additive to the group dynamic and how we can all work together and stuff. So it's really amazing.
That's great. Very
Amazing.
cool. Very cool. She says, I'm debating doing it again, not because I didn't love it. I'm not sure if I have the time commitment. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of thinking work, and I do think about that, and I've actually sort of stepped away from having it like you have to do this in order to experience it. I know that for me, showing up is like one of the biggest things to have
Yeah.
transformation, and also just intention as a whole. Like I want to find clarity around this. And if you
Mhm.
have like, if you're thinking like, I don't know what I need to do with my life. If you wake up every morning and you have other people talk about how they're doing, even just that gentle, unconscious or subconscious prompting is going to provide the opportunity to open you up
Yeah.
to find the answers. So,
yeah. It's weird. I forgot what I was going to say. Completely forgot. It was here and then it left. What the hell was I going to say? You're right. It's hard to podcast about the same thing for 10 years. And it's so different now. Oh, I just remembered. I can't believe I forgot this. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a course. I'm going to launch it soon here about what podcasting advice is really good for you and which rules are complete horse pucking and only out there for the people who wrote them because they want you to buy a product.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, because like choosing a mic before you start, for example, is a stupid thing to do. You don't even know if you like podcasting. Don't buy anything. Buy zilch. Just practice. See if you like it before you spend any money on a mic. People think they have to. I got to be professional. I have to buy a $200 mic, and then they say 4 words, and they're like, "Fuck this."
It's a lot of work. Yeah,
it's a lot.
I guess the other thing is maybe like buy a mic that you can return in 30 days.
Or like a hosting company. Like you don't need that before you start.
No,
that's what I want to talk about.
I keep telling people that all the time. I'm always like, it's the last thing you need to do.
Yes.
It's the last thing you need to do. And then people do that all the time. Are like, I'm going to sign up and do like the free month or the free whatever. And it just sits there. And you're like, what?
Why? I know, but I'm telling you, that rule came about because hosting companies started saying it because they want your business. It's not because you need a hosting company.
Well, I think that what ended up happening is I don't think that that's the case, though, Jess. It's really just like when people start to plan this stuff, they don't know what they don't know. So they start to do all the things. And they are like, oh, I got to go get my...
That's why I'm writing this, because there's no person to be like, that's not true. This is true. This is true. That's not true. You don't need this. You do need that. This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. You know what else I think doesn't make sense? I'll just give you one more example. Figuring out your audience avatar. Why? Who cares? Just talk. Whoever hears it will hear it. You and I did that. We were like, we're going to talk to all the female podcasters. And for the first 3 years, it was mostly men. I mean, we had no idea. We had no control. I mean, if it was more women, they're not the ones that wrote us. Everyone who wrote us an email was like, I'm a secret listener. Why? Why is it a secret? Because we have boobs. That's why. It's silly.
I think it's just because of the title itself and stuff. But like,
no, but I'm saying like, right.
There are a lot of rules that you need to...
But I'm saying, like, why somebody who's like, I think I'm going to start a podcast about home improvement. Do they really have to stop and be like, who's going to listen? Gladys, who reads Good Housekeeping every Sunday. Like, this is such a waste of time. It's such a waste. And it's stressful to do that, too.
It is. It's very...
Really? It doesn't matter. You have no control over this.
I think that the only time it does depend is if it's like it's like a business internal company, you know, and they're like,
They already
we
know
need to
their
talk
customer
to
avatars, though.
executives. This is true. Correct.
You
And
know?
hence you don't have to read, like we're talking to the same people
right.
that we're selling
Exactly.
products to.
A
Period.
business should already know. A new podcaster who wants to talk, you know, again, using Jim.
This is
I
true.
want to do a podcast about ghost stories. Do you really have to stop and figure out what kind of t-shirt your avatar is wearing? Shut the hell up. No, you do not. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm done. I'm going to clip this as an ad for my new course. This is exactly what it's going to be like. This is exactly what it's going to be like. But we're talking about the E-League now, not me.
No. We are talking about you too. You put that in there too. We can put links to whatever you want to do in there. Nope. And
I'm not ready yet.
You can you're soon. Not.
You'll know when
it's coming soon. Yes.
But yeah, check out the E-League. People who go through it love it, and you make friends for life in there.
Yeah,
and they're the best people ever. They are the best people ever.
Yes.
The people.
It's a really lovely experience. I have to say it, and you have to understand too. Like with all the folks that are kind of like, I don't know if I have time. I think part of the process is just committing to your brain to be focused on doing just a little bit. That's it. Like I made it again. I made it asynchronous. I made it for a sense that you're not feeling overwhelmed. Like I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. I want you to craft the experience that you need for yourself. And if you're already feeling like you don't know what your next step is, or you're just feeling like doubting as to what the industry is feeling like, it's feeling like it's shaking the ground beneath you. This is a time to ground down on what you're going to be putting out. That's what this is about. It's about you, and you make it work for yourself with other people going through the same thing. So, and I'm going through the same thing. So that's why I wanted to do it.
That's why I wanted to do it. It's going to be great.
Okay.
It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I think that's it for today. Unless, where are you going now?
I'm sorry. I just popped in for a second. Yes, it is. Yes, we're fine. We're done. We're done for today. Correct.
So thank you so much for listening to today's episode of She Podcasts. If you would like all the links that we talked about today, go to shepodcast.com, and that's where our show notes are going to be. You can also follow us on TikTok, Pinterest, I guess Twitter. We're still on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at She Podcasts. Thank you guys so much again for listening. See you next week at 1 p.m. Love you.
Remake.
Bye. All right, let's sit.
That was really good. I'm so excited.
I'm refreshed with renewed strength.
You are?
Yeah, I think that comes from the Shabbat prayer book. When they say something about Shabbat, you'll be refreshed with renewed strength. And I always think about that. I'm refreshed with renewed strength.
I love that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice,
What is going on with this?
Honey Hoolzer. Okay. Well, thanks for playing with us, you guys.
Okay.
We're gonna see you next week now.
I'm gonna see you next. Oh my God. You sound so okay. Yes.
Do I sound very Midwestern? Do I sound Midwestern?
You do. You.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. It just came to me out of nowhere, that accent. I've never done it before.
I don't know why either. I am absolutely and utterly confused.
Thanks. Okay. Talk to you soon. Talk to you guys soon. Love to all of you.
Bye.
I'm ending the screen.